Slope of parallel and perpendicular lines. Well, anytime that we have parallel, that means that we're going to have two lines that will never cross each other. They're going to run side by side forever. At no point should they ever cross, and they will always be the same distance apart. Perpendicular means it's going to make a plus sign if you wanted to make it as simple as possible. It's going to cross through the other line, making a T or a plus. Perpendicular lines and parallel lines are very easy to make. It's just you have to remember how to do them. Parallel is extremely simple in that if it's a parallel line, the slope is exactly the same on the other line. So if you wanted to create parallel lines, the slope would remain exactly the same. You just have a different y-intercept. If you wanted to make perpendicular lines, the simplest way to say it, flip the fraction upside down and take the opposite value. So if it were a negative fraction, you just make it positive and flip it upside down. If it were a positive whole number, like 5, then you would put a 1 underneath it, flip it, turn it into 1/5, and make it negative. So here are two examples in red if you wanted to take a look at the notes and see how whenever you have the reciprocal and the opposite value, this negative 2x and this 1/2, if you want to compare them, it would be 1/2 and 2 over 1. You can see how that would create the exact opposite of a parallel line, being that the parallel lines have the same exact slope. So the reason that both of these are positive means that they won't be crossing each other. That's why we make one of them the opposite. If one of them is going up, we have to make the other one going down. We do that by making the value its opposite. We're always focusing on slope when we're talking about parallel and perpendicular. Let's just go through 3 simple examples of how to fill this in and what this means. We know that parallel lines are going to have the same value for slope. So 5/4. Look at that. We created another parallel line using the same exact slope. Now for perpendicular, I'm going to flip it upside down. So 4/5. That 5/4 is already positive, so that means I'm going to make it negative. Boom. There you go. We just made ourselves a parallel and perpendicular slope. Moving on to the second one, you can see if you want a parallel line, you just have the same slope, negative 8 over 9. For a perpendicular slope, I'm going to flip it upside down, take the reciprocal, 9 over 8. It was already negative, so I'm going to leave it being positive. So negative 8/9 is now to be a perpendicular line of positive 9/8. Slope of 4/9 for parallel, we're going to keep it the same. That's so easy. Then next, for perpendicular, we're going to flip it or take the reciprocal, 4 and flip the 9, okay? And we know that 4/9, what we started with, was positive, so that means I'm going to take the opposite value, negative 9/4.